By mid-April, the quiet breeding grounds are astir with excitement. After 28 days of incubation, the nestlings break out of their eggs and venture unsteadily from under the parents. The nestlings must be kept warm to survive. The parents' warm feathers provide them with essential protection. After 4 or 5 days, the nestlings open their eyes for the first time. They scramble for food from their parents and slowly become familiar with their surroundings. When it comes to feeding the youngsters, the cormorants are not so different from the herons. They feed the nestlings with regurgitated fish. This helps the parents to conserve their energy and frees up more time for them to keep an eye on their young. The weather becomes warmer by May. The entire breeding ground is filled with the sounds of fledglings begging for food. The parents work even harder to satisfy the appetites of the ever-hungry youngsters. One of the parents has to stay and look after the still vulnerable offspring, while the other parent hurries off to forage for food. Parenting is definitely not an easy task. The parents gradually lose the shine of their breeding plumage. By the time they are 1.5 months old, the chicks have developed their plumage and have learned to preen their feathers. Sometimes they can be quite aggressive. After 2 months of intensive feeding, the babies are almost as big as their parents. Every time a parent returns, the fledglings stretch their necks and open their mouths to beg for food. The parent tries to distribute food fairly, but more often than not, it is overwhelmed by the insistent and demanding chicks. By July, most of the fledglings have adopted the appearance of adolescents. The noise level reaches a new height in the breeding ground. Young birds crowd the place, performing chases and defending their territories. Three months in a nest is more than a bird can bear. The fledglings are no longer contented to stay in the nests. They venture out and flap their wings vigorously in their eager attempts to take flight. With the help of the lifting wind, the adolescents take off for the first time effortlessly. The youngsters are already adept swimmers. No swimming lessons are necessary. But of course, they are still unable to hunt for their own fish. At this stage, the parents will keep on feeding the young birds until they have learned to fish. November arrives with the northeast winds. The cormorants once again fly southwards with their young to return to their wintering grounds. The annual migration happens like clockwork without fail year after year. These dances performed by the cormorants in the skies are vibrant and poetic. They signify the vitality of our land, and it is through them that the beauty of nature is manifested. They open our eyes to the wonders of the wild. Whether or not this enchanting image will last depends entirely on our wisdom and on the choices we make.